Hi comic book fans, welcome to another SuddenlyComics.com video, and just a quick video this morning to give you my opinions on the C2E2 Furore debacle gate. Okay, other than the naming the company that produced this comic, I'm not naming names, okay? This isn't about blackening the names of anybody. This is about talking about the principles, okay? So for those of you who don't know what happened, this is a comic convention, I think in Chicago, called C2E2. And at this convention, there was a comic reseller or comic seller, I think called Black Flag. They had purchased a large quantity of comics of the Ultimate 4 Fallout facsimile, and they had produced an acetate cover, so a see-through cover that they stapled onto the comic that put some, and on the acetate there was printed the American flag and stuff like that. Okay, right. Then what happened was they said this was a con exclusive. I think they had 750 copies. They put it up, they opened the doors, queue formed, a lot of people wanting to buy it, and people standing in the queue. As they were standing there, some other people who have been described as influencers go to the front of the queue and walk away with, I think, 100 issues or something like that each. Okay, and what happens then is 15 minutes later they've sold out. So lots of people standing in the queue, been standing there for an hour or so, and they don't get a single copy, where some other people have walked off with 100. Okay, now this has caused all sorts of furore, all sorts of issues. Then a couple of people in the queue they started naming the individuals who'd been picking up the comics. Some other Facebook groups started naming people who'd picked up the comics, some of whom weren't even there, and a whole furore. Okay, I'm going to deal with the issues. Okay, first off, do I think it's wrong of Black Flag to produce to alter a comic for sale? No. What guys, just get your heads together. Every time you send a comic off to CGC, you are getting it covered in plastic in order to increase its value to resell it. Okay, so let's not get precious. They bought these comics off Marvel. Marvel sold them to them. Once they're theirs, they can do what they want with them. Have I sold comics that have been defaced? Yeah, I've sold comics with Barrow scribble on them. It's an altered comic, and I've sold it. Sorry, guys. As far as I'm concerned, if Marvel have got an issue, they'll do something about it. I don't think they will. As far as they're concerned, they sold 750 comics to these guys. What happens to them after that? Up to them. Are they going to prosecute everybody who gets a slab put on a comic? I don't think so. So I haven't got an issue with that. Okay. In fact, as far as I'm concerned, it's 750 of those awful facsimiles that the people have been conned into buying off the market. So if anything, they've done me a favour. Okay, then people have been complaining about the price it's selling for. No, I have no issue with this whatsoever. The buyers know what they are doing. Okay, if you went out and bought this comic for $300 and it's now worth $150, tough. Those are the risks you take. If you're a flipper, you probably bought it at $300 because you thought you could sell it at $400. Okay, sorry, I have no sympathy over the people who paid this price for this thing. It's not a comic I would buy, nor is it a comic I would stand in queue for. So I don't have any issue with those things. Okay, so then the next thing is it right that some influencers were able to go to the front of the queue and take away 100 comics each? Okay, so let's assume this is true. Okay, what Black Flag is saying is these people pre-bought these comics and were purely going to pick them up. Okay, right. Okay, if they went to the front of the queue and got special treatment, I'm a Brit. I do not like queue barging. So if they did that, bad, 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 bad. Okay. If, however, as Black Flag says, Black Flag had pre-sold these and these individuals were purely coming to collect them, okay, then I have an issue with Black Flag saying this is an exclusive, because they did not offer that. As far as I understand, they didn't offer it to the general public as a pre-sale. So there were selected individuals who were allowed to buy pre-sales. Now, there's nothing inherently wrong with that, as long as you'd made it clear to everybody that's what was going on, and I don't think they had. I don't think those people would have been queuing up if they'd known that it was 750, and if you wanted to, you could have pre-ordered 100 and gone and collected them whenever you liked. I think they should have let that be known. Okay, so queue barging is bad. If you don't like queue barging, do not queue with the French. Okay. And I think Black Flag should probably not have done that level of pre-sale. You know, if you're queuing up for your 1 or 2 copies and you see somebody walking off with 100, I can understand why you get a bit grumpy. Okay, next issue. Right, so then I watched Chris on Journo's Comics, and he was getting very excited because somebody had put a Facebook blog up. He was naming names of people who'd been doing the queue barging. This guy had not been there, and indeed some of the people he named weren't even at the convention. And Chris was getting annoyed with that. Well, I agree with that. You know, I'm not naming any names here. I wasn't there. I don't know what went on. This is purely part of cancel culture, and Chris is correct. You know, it is people who are jealous about other people's success. So that is bad. I agree with Chris. So that's bad as well. What other issues have we got here? I think I've just about covered them all off. So I don't have a problem with the acetate being put on the comic. I don't have a problem with them selling it. I don't have a problem with them doing an exclusive. I don't have a problem with people selling this for silly prices. If people are prepared to buy it, that's what goes on all the time in the comic community. You know, seller beware. You know what you're buying. If anything, I think it's good. As I said, they've taken these bloody facsimiles out of the market, so they've done us a favour in a way. Do I think queue barging is wrong? Absolutely. No queue barging. I am a Brit. Okay. Should they have pre-sold a store exclusive without letting people know that that's what they were going to do? No, I don't think so. But, you know, let's be realistic. This is a market economy. These are guys in business. They're there to make money. You know, the people who bought 100 copies, if they were able to buy those 100 copies and resell them, you know, fine. You know, did they get mates rates or mates conditions? Yeah. Okay, well, that's life. So there you go. There's my sixpenneth. That's your lot. See you again soon.